all the honeys in the Hyundai. For all my dreams, you know it's alright.
What's up, guys? This is Sam from Mammals Gaming. Back from YCS Anaheim. I don't know if you guys were watching, but I got on a feature match, and I just wanted to talk about that feature match, go over it, review it. It's no surprise if you saw it already. I played like absolute garbage, and it was kind of embarrassing. But I just wanted to give some of the context behind it, why I played so bad, what I could have done differently. We're just going to review it together, and I'll just go through what my thought process was during it. Alright, so we'll go over the feature match real quick. This is the official stream. I played against, that's me right there. We played against Forbes, Koo, genuinely a super chill guy, and when I sat across from him round 2, I did chuckle a little bit because I've seen him on Zodiac Duelist and stuff before. But I was honestly kind of annoyed because I knew that I was only on the feature match because of this guy. And I didn't want to be on the feature match. For all of you who have been watching the videos, you would know that I had no time to test before this. I actually didn't even get to read the ryzeal cards and all that, so I was just like super stressed. You know, I had to not only play in a YCS that I wasn't prepared for, but I also had to play in a format where I had no idea what was going on. So we'll just go into the match. Oh, whoa. We'll go into the match real quick here. I actually lost a die roll. Forbes went first. We'll go do a play-by-play. So here's game 1. I'll kind of just speed over Forbes' deck. I mean, his turn, because I can't really speak to what he was doing and exactly what the list is. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, but I can't tell you what it is. So we'll go over a little bit over here. Forbes won the die roll, and then I mean, I had no idea what suships do. I knew he played it. And right there, that's my first, like, that was the first thing that kind of like threw me for a loop. Lordy Lord. So not only was he playing suships, he was playing the primite engine, which I had never read before. Again, guys, like, I was so unprepared going into this event. I didn't know about anything. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what I was looking for, what to hit in anything. So this is just kind of tough. Let me just make my screen smaller here. Yeah, there we go. So it was just tough overall. He activated that, and I immediately, like, on top of being nervous as hell. Okay, you know what? Let me stop for a second and tell you guys how nervous I was. This is my first YCS feature match, and this is my second YCS overall. And so when I got up on that stage, I thought it was fine. Player introductions, I was okay. And then I sat down, and when he started playing and the lights are shining on you and the judges are right next to you and you know that the casters are back there talking about your plays, I started blanking. Oh my god. I was reading this card. You see me reading this card right here? I didn't retain a single lick of that information. I just kept reading, I kept reading, and nothing was retaining in my head. And so let's read this together real quick. When this is activated, add 1 primite card. Okay, you can declare 1 monster card name, special summon 1 normal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. In defense position, also you cannot activate the effects of special summon monsters on the field this turn. So right there, this wall of text, all of it was jumbling in my mind. I couldn't like retain any of the information. So I look over it, give it back to him. He adds roar, which I read again, and I had no idea what I was reading again. I understand what the whole point of it is. It summons one, and then in the grave, when your opponent normal summons, you can banish, and then banish it from grave, and then target a card. And then banish the normal summon monster if its attack is less than the one on the field. A normal monster. But like, just that, I just completely glanced over most of the effect. I didn't retain any information. So all I did was I saw page 2000, and then that was it. Summon 1 normal monster. I didn't read the second part. And then he started summoning the ryzeal cards. Let's talk about ryzeal for a second. So I came into this event playing Snake Eye Fire King because it was a deck I knew how to play for the most part. I had experience with, and most importantly, it was a deck that I had built. I didn't even have time to build a new list for this event. So I went in, like, just changed a couple of the hand traps, but otherwise I didn't touch the deck at all. And so the first time I was actually playing against ryzeal was actually the night before against a friend of ours who, admittedly, like, he's not the best with the deck either. He had no idea how to really play it. And so when I was testing against him, I was just getting my cheeks clapped. I had no fucking clue what the cards did. And as I kept reading, like, it wasn't enough testing for me to really understand what to do. Like, detonator's protection effect, I didn't really have stuck in my head. All I knew from that was imperm the dual drive, don't let it resolve, and then detonator will pop not once per chain in response to an effect. Like, that was all I really knew. That was all I really knew. The main deck monster names, I knew that ice was the normal summon, and then everything else kind of just special summon from hand and add each other. I didn't know what added what. And so I was just hoping that the judges would catch any of the illegal plays. So he adds sword here, summons sword, adds X, and then he doesn't summon X. He just triple goes into dual drive. I imperm here because it was the only thing I retained from the night before. And then he goes X, dump aggregator, and then he adds something else.
That means Forbes could, in theory, make another one and actually use the effect.
Does he not add anything?
He actually hasn't used any of the effect yet.
No, he does. He does. He has another. He has another ice in hand. Pitches one, suship spell that I took like 3 seconds to read before he told me it does nothing. Detonator, attach aggregator. He has an ash in hand, and then he passes with the suship. I had no idea why he summoned that normal monster, by the way. I didn't realize it was because he had the roar set up in grave. So I draw my turn. I draw Nip for turn. But I have a really strong hand, and I just decided, you know what? I'm gonna try to protect myself with the normal summon Arvada. Instead of starting with 1-for-1. So I go normal summon Arvada, and then he activates roar. I lose my Arvada right there, and I'm like, fuck. I should have read. But I was already under so much like pressure here. So I'm like, you know what? Pivot. We'll just go straight for 1-for-1. So we go 1-for-1, ditching the Nibiru I drew for turn. He ashes, and then I do cross out. I summoned Ash here. He used Detonator to pop. I'm like, okay, I still get access to original. So I go add Poplar, Poplar summon, Poplar add, and then he pops again. And so at this point, I'm like, wait, he only has 1 pop left? But then, like, I thought for some reason the dual drive had an effect as well. So I was just really concerned about, especially after getting the roar activated on me, I was really concerned with just baiting as much interaction as I possibly could. And then my mind just started racing and racing and racing. At a certain point, I just started activating effects. I didn't know what aggregator did either, which is so stupid. I didn't know what aggregator did. And so he pops a Poplar, and I'm like, cool, I'll just go summon Ponix. And then I have the Poplar over there for the original send. And so Ponix adds the Sanctuary. I thought he was going to let it go, but I guess he realized he only has 1 pop left. So he left it. Although if he popped the Ponix here, I think I was done because I had no other monsters. No, I had the original though. That's fine. Yeah. So original send Poplar and then try to summon Oak. But then he pops the Ponix here. And so I didn't realize that he could negate my Oak with the aggregator. And so I went Chainlink 1 Oak, and then he goes Chainlink 2 aggregator. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, whatever, I still have access to Island here, so I just started going Fire King plays. And I should have realized at this point he had no more interactions left. But I still felt like Duo Drive had something, and I couldn't bring myself to like think clearly. Now at this point, this is when everyone started flaming on the live stream. I saw all the live stream comments, guys. Don't worry, it didn't really get to me. Like I said, I'm making this video to explain my side and how I was feeling and my decisions. I'm not here to act like I'm a really good player and that, like, you know, y'all deserve to respect me or whatever. I know I made a lot of mistakes. And it's at this point where I should have just gone into Hita summon back, you know, Sword or something, and then go into Princess summon back Oak, go into Flamberge, and Princess link off into something else, and then go into my Zelantis OTK. That is 100% what I should have done. again, I started freaking out. So I made zombie vampire here because I thought it was the right thing to do. And 100% that was completely wrong. I was lucky that I hit something, but then at this point I realized, do I just try to get my Fire King engine back in track? So I summoned out Kieran, and then I had the brilliant idea in my mind to go into battle. When I really could have, even at this point, just gone into Hita, right? Just gone into Hita. But I decided, you know what, let's just go into battle, pop something. I popped the duo drive because, again, I thought the duo drive had... What did I pop? Yeah, I popped the duo drive because I really thought it had an effect. Like... Guys, I know, it was such a bad play, but I really thought it had an effect. Like, it was so stupid of me. And then I just stopped attacking. I could have attacked over the sushi, I think. I'm not sure. Again, like, my mind was racing at 1,000,000 miles per hour and I had no idea. So I go into Hita here, summon back the Ashe, link off into Princess. And by the way, I summoned back the Ashe because I didn't know if any of the ryzeal cards get effects when they are sent to grave. Like, this goes to show how unprepared I was and how, like, flustered I was. When you're up there on the stage, you start to like not be able to read, and I couldn't bring myself to read it. So I just relied on what I knew, the cards I knew before the new format dropped, because I couldn't bring myself to like, you know, all that. So I went Oak into Flamberge and Princess into Embla, and then Embla summoned back 2, and then I just went into IP. And so like I was like, you know what, this should be fine. I still have the Princess pop, and then if something gets popped, I have my whole Fire King engine engraved. So I felt like I was still pretty much in control. He top decks the fucking drill beam for turn, which actually ended up saving me. And so he drill beams, pops my or banishes my island, and then island blows up my field, allowing me to get IP into my full Fire King combo. And so at this point he goes into Typhon, and then I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go IP banish, so I still have the Princess as my last point of interaction. And I think someone on DB Grinders side, when they were watching this, said that this was the wrong play. Again, I'm not really seeing how it's the wrong play, because if I go Princess, I get locked from my IP effect. So if I went Princess first on the Typhon, it would mean that I lose access to IP, or lose access to SP. I'd have to wait for the Princess to get popped somehow or sent off the field for me to go IP into SP, and by that point I could just lose in battle, right? If he had any other plays. But he had one card in hand, he activated it, he summoned Typhon, and that was it, right? And so he passes here on nothing. I draw for turn. I drew Volcanics, but I realized I had no other names in yard because I milled my last Kieran. And so I'm checking my grave, I'm checking his grave, I'm seeing if there's anything I can do. But I just went attack. And then I passed. And he drew something that didn't matter. He drew a suship, and he scooped here. So game 1, I understand that I made the wrong play, but I still felt like for the most part I was in control after my turn ended. And I know it could have ended up sour if he drew any ryzeal name, but I still felt like because of the interaction I had set up in grave, I was okay. And so yeah, I messed up. I should have ended the game right then and there, but you know what? At the end of the day, I found a way to win. Whether it was the correct or optimal play or not, it is what it is. That's Yu-Gi-Oh! You have to adapt. Now game 2 is actually my biggest misplays were done here. I felt awful about these plays. So Forbes went first here. He just went painful decision here. Send one level 4 lower normal monster and then add monster with the same name. So he sent the suship, added the suship, but and then this threw me for a loop as well. I started to realize, like, fuck, I have no idea what these suship cards do. I hope he doesn't do anything with them. I don't know what they go into. Like, are they just normal monsters, or what are they? Like, my mind was racing again, and I started getting really messed up. So he goes into a roar again, and then goes ryzeal combo. But this time, I don't have the imperm for it, right? And so he ends up getting duo drive, He ends up getting duo drives effect off. He has cross in hand, and I think he added no, he doesn't add cross. He has plug in and then another main deck monster, and then goes
Myriologic aggregator underneath it. And again, if you don't know why Detonator is so wild, we haven't really got.
Oh wait, no, I did have an ogre.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I didn't even realize. So he duos here, and then I go ogre, and then he goes the last 2 monsters in hand makes detonator, sets plug in from hand, and then passes. And guys, I'm so fucking annoyed because I had the I had the droplet, and at this point, if I had just gone bonfire and then dropleted, sent the bonfire, I would have been able to just negate this detonator and been done with it, right? But for some stupid fucking reason, I decided to just let him pop because it was going so well for me last time, right? And and so guys, like, I know I just kept going, and at this point, this interaction right here, he went I went Kieran effect because I had a Flamberge in hand that I had no idea what to do with, which should have just been, again, droplet fodder. This just goes to show like how off my mind was. I just could not use my brain. So I used Kieran, and then this gives him an opportunity in which he pops the Arvada, which I have nothing to summon off of there, and I missed my opportunity. From this point on, I had no opportunity to use droplet because I would just go too low on bodies. And so I pop again, detonator. I mean, I go into battle again. I attack with Kieran, attack detonator, use Kieran effect to summon in the damage step. Then I fucking forgot that detonator has protection effect. And so, or actually, did I even know? I don't even know if I knew detonator has protection effect. And so he protects here, and then I realize how fucking screwed I am. As you see me looking at this droplet in hand, with the biggest regret like surging through my brains right now. And so I'm like, you know what? I just need to go into my cards here. I go Hita, attempt to summon Ash. He goes detonator pop, and I'm like, you know what? I can add Ponix. And by the way, guys, I know this play is illegal, and I guarantee you, I never tried this ever before. I don't know what in my mind was going on where I thought this was a legal play, but oh, guys, I don't know. This is so stupid. I went Hita, add Ponix attempt to summon, and then I just, at this point, it didn't matter what he did from here on out. I just passed and lost. And guys, when I tell you, the moment this guy attacked for game and I scooped, you'll hear the crowd roar, and it was so demoralizing.
What I really love is
like here,
it's also
listen.
one of those 2 decks in one hit.
Because normally, but here we're
Full ryzeal combo, go suship combo. You hear all of them yelling, and guys, at that point I started panicking even more. And so I know going into this feature match that I was supposed to be the bad guy, right? Nobody wants to see the random Snake Eye player win. They all want to see the sushi guy win. And so when I heard everybody cheering for me, cheering against me, it was a little demoralizing, and I tried to put it past, but again, with the nerves, the legal play I just made, that was embarrassing as hell, and losing and hearing that, my mind was racing at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And so we side out here. I side into D barriers and stuff because I know that's good against ryzeal. I decide to go first here. Okay, also you'll see me do this. It's because it was insanely cold up there. My hands were shaking, my whole body, like upper body, was shaking. My breathing wasn't normal because it was colder. I was just shivering. And so I go first. I draw my opening hand. And at this point, I thought I was going to lose. And so I needed a miracle. Also, another thing to point out, the timer here is actually wrong. When we started game 3, we were at around 13 minutes, give or take. So this timer was almost 5 minutes off. No, 4 minutes off. I don't know why that was. And I know a lot of people thought that that they had like misrepresented the time on the table, but no, Forbes and I both understood exactly how much time there was. There's a timer right next to us when we play, and when you play on a feature match, there will be a timer next to you where it shows you everything. There's no withheld information. Whenever you make a mistake and you get a warning, you get told exactly right then and there. You'll see us both turn to the judges. You'll see me look at the clock. Like everything is public information. They're not withholding anything from us. So just to clear that up, because some people thought that I won in a scummy way. But no, that it wasn't the case. We were both aware of time. So I drew pretty good here. I go Bonfire. I go at Poplar, summon Poplar, and then he goes Ash on the Poplar effect. So I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of weird. So I just go normal summon Ponix because I had it in hand again. I activate Sanctuary, go into Island, pop, go into Garunix, pop, Volcanics, and then see, like, I don't know why I kept going for a, well, no, in this scenario in particular, I went for the zombie vampire play because I wanted to get into my Snake Eye engine to get more bodies on board. I was just terrified of like not having enough interaction against ryzeal. So I go zombie vampire here, we mill, and then here's where it kind of got a little weird. I milled the original, the Dimension Barrier, Ash, and Diabell Star. And I wish I just went for the Ash, because I could have just gone into my Snake Eye plays like that. But it was just so stupid that I went for, or no, it wasn't inherently wrong that I went for Diabell Star here, because I felt, oh, I could just go into Azamina engine. I'll show you exactly where I fucked up. I went Deception, and I sent this fucking Poplar. It was the only fire monster I had on board. I don't know why I thought that Poplar was the play here. I sent the Poplar, and I go into my full Azamina combo, and then I realize I lost. I thought I lost right here because I saw all my board. There were 3 dark monsters in a fire fucking deck, and I thought, oh my god, I'm fucking done for. And so I just go. Only play I had from here on out was Zombie Vampire and Diabell Star into either IP or SP, and I wanted SP for the extra layer of interruption, and then I just passed. And this was so embarrassing. I thought at this point I actually lost, and when it started going into suship cards, and then he exceeds into this one. Again, I never read this card. I didn't. It's a negate, right? So he targets SP to negate, and then I banish using SP. And then here also, I'm sorry guys. So Imperm was over here. Sanctuary was over here. As I went to reach over and put my Imperm into the graveyard, the Sanctuary got moved. And I just moved it there. You think I did that on purpose? You think I did that on purpose? No. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? It's not even a good cheat. I moved it by accident. I saw it was moved. They kept telling me to straighten out all my cards on stream, right? So I straightened it out. I thought it was in the center zone. It wasn't. It wasn't. That was stupid. And so he goes into what? Ryzeal combo here? No, Lordy Lord. And then he summons out the thing. I try to negate. He normal summons and then somehow goes into full Ryzeal combo. Or no. Oh yeah, he goes into dual drive here. I have nothing for the dual drive. I think I just lose here. And so he adds plugin and ice, and then normal summons ice. So here's where he fucked up. He normal summoned ice, thinking he had had not normal summoned already, but he normal summoned the suship monster. And so from this point on, he goes Dugaris, and then realizes he it was a bad play. So he just attacks. And then attacks. So I'm taking damage here. It says 5 seconds on the clock, but there's like 4 minutes roughly at this point. He was misplaying, I was misplaying. It was just a really tough spot to be in. He attacks for that. And then
correct, but I believe this could have been time in the round for them. I could be wrong about that.
They do have a separate clock, and it is 0 right now.
And he goes into Typhon. He goes into Typhon, puts it over the Dugaris when it has to go over the dual drive because it's not the highest attack. So he sets plug-in, passes, bonfire, I add oak, and at this point, I feel like I knew that I could have won. We forgot to resolve SP here, and we were both so nervous out of our minds. I started rushing because we only had 2 minutes left on the clock going into my turn. And so I'm rushing, the judges are talking, and I'm just like, listen, can I just go on with my combo? I go on my combo, judge stops me again here, telling me that we both have another warning. I'm like, okay, let me just go on with my plays. So I go on with my plays, I summon out Sylvia again, and then I add the Diabell Star. I add something off of Barking Island. I just wanted to get big bodies on the board. I didn't care about going into Oak or anything, summoning something out. I just needed to go into bodies. I just needed to make plays and then start attacking. And at this point, we were going 1 by 1. And so he goes plug-in here. And I actually read the plugin because I have no idea what the fucking ryzeal cards do. I do now, but at this point I had no idea. I thought plugin didn't target. I had a cross out as well. I could have just crossed out of the target, but he didn't like say a target. I guess it had to have been the dual drive, but he didn't say it out loud, and so I thought it didn't target, which is why I went Sylvia here when I could have just gone called by.
Just go ahead and
And then I attack, I leave him on like 400 life, and then he scooped here with time called in the round. And so I ended up winning because we both misplayed, and I just happened to misplay a little less, I guess. But I understand, guys. I just wanted to show you guys what was going through my mind and why I made the plays I did. I'm sorry again that you guys had to witness this. I'm very ashamed of myself, and I'm going to be back in the lab testing and grinding so that something like this doesn't happen again. Trust me, guys, I wanted to do well, but going into Anaheim the night before, I had no hope. I knew that, my rounds were going to be cooked because I had no idea what the ryzeal cards did. And it's my fault. I mean, I could have tested, but I mean, it was just tough with the amount of time I had to really do anything. But yeah, that's my video. That's I just wanted to talk to you guys again about what happened, what my mind was going, what was going on in my mind, and just give an explanation of my point of view and what it's like to be on a feature match stage. It's terrifying, guys, and I think I'll be more equipped to do it next time. I think the nerves will be a lot less going into next time. But hopefully next time, guys, you'll see me in Top Cut doing a feature match and not in round 2 of Swiss, making the biggest misplays of my life. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And stay tuned for more content. Appreciate y'all who gave nice words, and I'll see you in the next one.
Left on red, said none of this shit would get